Hello everyone, this is Numerian. Today I will be showing you an indie game, an older indie game called Strike Vector, which is a Twitch shooter where you play with planes. Well, that together sounds a little strange, doesn't it? Well, that's because the game, or the vectors actually, themselves are little fast planes which turn quickly, shoot quickly, and basically everything you do is done quickly, and you have to aim your each weapon accurately to hit enemies, and you have to dodge their fire. This proves to be a kind of a difficult feat, because this game is really quick and the best players are very hard to hit. In this game you can choose which weapons you want to have at the start of each game or after any death, and you can choose one of 7 weapons, and you can have 2 on your vector at any time, and you can use them at the same time. So one is on the left and one is on the right, as you can see here. Each of these weapons also has 2 additions to it, with which you can increase the range or damage or rate of fire of the weapon, or increase the reload speed in the weapons that have reload. You also have a special ability, you have a special feat, special treat, so your vector can be more tough, faster, or more undetectable. Alternatively, with abilities, you can drop a mine behind you which will target incoming enemies, or a cloaking field, or a healing field which will also heal enemies, so be careful with that. Overall, this game is quite well made. It reacts quickly, it runs very well. It runs at 60 at my computer, unless I'm recording. When I'm recording, it drops to 30, so I record at 30 because of that. But other than that, it's at stable 60. It looks good, it plays well, the kills are satisfying. There is only one downside to this game, and it is the fact that it's an indie multiplayer title, meaning that if we are planning on playing it actively, it might prove difficult to find full servers every time you log in. Actually, I had to record this video for twice, because at the first time I recorded it, my microphone didn't work for some reason, and I only found out after I recorded it, so I wanted to record it later on the next day, and on the next day there was not a single full server, so I couldn't show the game. When you join a game, or when you launch after death, you discover that they have 2 modes of moving. You have a jet mode and a harrier mode. In harrier mode, well, it speaks for itself. You are a harrier, you are not moving. You stay in one place, you can turn around, you can very slowly move, but you are basically a stationary target for enemies. In jet mode, you are a fast-moving jet. You can dodge homing missiles. You are a fast-moving jet. So that's it. But at the same time, it's really difficult for new players to get into it on some maps, because Some maps are cruelly tight spaces or so. For example, the map Inferno, which you can see on the screen right now, is mostly constructed of inner tunnels and loads of stuff going around and moving, and it gets pretty intense. As to game modes, this game has to offer team deathmatch, then a normal deathmatch, which is basically FFA, and then some bounty game modes where each player is for himself, but with killing enemies you gain bounty, and it depends on how good a player is, how much bounty he has. So if you kill him, you get more money. So it's a wolf and sheep game after a while, because one player gets, let's say, 2,000, and everybody else starts hunting him. So that's a thing there. Now, when you are flying, you also have side. You can dodge to the side to avoid missiles launching at you. You can stop into Harrier mode, turn around, launch jet mode again, dodge stuff, and it's a really fast game, and it uses the 3D model pretty well, more than any other game, I would say. As to weapons, most weapons are aimed, like you need to aim them and they shoot in a straight line. However, there are some homing weapons, for example homing missiles, which you can lock onto an enemy and try to hit him with it, but they can be dodged, and it's not exactly difficult to dodge them. So there is that, and basically shooting is a really skillful feat. For most of the game, I would say that it's hard to pick up, but once you get into it, it's really fun. As to loadouts, you can occasionally hit enemies with your vector. When you die, you can actually hit the enemy with your blazing vector of fire, and it's pretty satisfying to get a revenge kill this way. Overall, I really love this game. I don't play it much because I'm not very good at it, but occasionally I turn it on, and I sometimes manage to beat the top player in the game, and it gets really satisfying. So I would say that if you are interested in the game, be sure to check Humble Bundle, because this week, for several more hours, sadly I didn't manage to get this video out sooner. For some more hours, the Humble Weekly Bundle has Strike Vector on a discount, and solely for this game it's worth it. So I hope more people get into it and more people play it. Now let's talk unlocks. In this game, you can also unlock several items for your vector, but none of them impact the game in any way other than the visual of your vector. There are several vector types, engine types, even chases, and then there are paint drops, symbols on your vector, and everything like that. So unlocks are purely cosmetic, and as to weapons, you get everything from the start, so no worries about that. Options wise, this game offers fully rebindable input options for basically everything. There are very diverse sound options, so you can actually modify how loud which parts are, even explosions and weapons and engine, which is pretty useful. Lots of gameplay options. I don't think you want anything more, except the fact that your mouse sensitivity, or my experience with mouse sensitivity options was quite bad, because I had to drop the mouse sensitivity all the way down for it to be playable, but normally I have huge mouse sensitivity, maybe it's only because of that. As to field of view, you don't actually know how much is your field of view, because the option doesn't have numbers on it, but it's a nice touch that you can modify it. And other than that, you have everything. You can even modify which move mode is the default one when you launch into the game. I prefer to have it on warrior mode, because when I launch I don't like to crash right into things, so it's helpful. Then graphic options, other than missing full screen window, it's good. For full screen window I use Game Companion, and for the most part it works. I had maybe one crash with it, so this game is a go. You have been listening to Numerian. Thank you very much, and see you next time.